Hello, and welcome to our online calculus class. This is Ann Magnuson. This is MAT271-0001, and this video is to serve as a little course tour to help you find things quickly and get up to speed and get started learning. So this is the landing page of our course, where the announcements are, and you'll see two announcements. One tells you that you must take this course entry quiz, or else the system will drop you from the class by August 27th. You actually need to take this quiz immediately because none of the content or lessons will show until that quiz is taken. This announcement is directing you to the Getting Started button, and then the Lessons button, where you'll find that course entry quiz and then the content for the course. So let's get started. Here is the Getting Started material which we're going to go through, and here is the syllabus. It's a Word document. So this is giving you an overview of calculus and of this class. Please check your Wake Tech email daily, as I will be emailing you, and announcements will go to your Wake Tech email. Log into the Blackboard class daily to read announcements, and as we get into the course discussion board posts, I'll talk more about that later. Discussion boards are to act as, class discussion as if we were a seated class. So it's important to keep up with them and be notified when somebody, replies to a question you had, or just if you're watching for something, or just in general to keep up with the class. You can subscribe to them, so I recommend that you do that. And it's very important to keep up with the material. It goes fast, it builds, and before you know it, we have mid-unit quizzes and tests, and it's just imperative to keep up. This page discusses our homework system, which is WebAssign. There's a link to click to get a special price that we negotiated with Cengage for Wake Tech students. And this gives you a little bit of an overview about WebAssign. I'll talk about that more in a minute. You're going to have WebAssign homework and quizzes. Homework every week. Quizzes, you'll have 4 WebAssign quizzes, mid-unit, between tests. This gives you information on how to use WebAssign. You get the first 2 weeks from the start of class free. Our textbook that we'll be using. WebAssign contains an ebook, but if you also like to have a hard copy book, this is what you can get at the bookstore. And then the graphing technology we're going to use. On tests, you can only use a non-graphing calculator, but on homework, you can use a graphing calculator. And that's a department rule. And also we're going to be using this online graphing calculator, desmos.com, and there's a link there you can click to see what it's like. I am your instructor. This gives a link to this faculty information, which has my office hours and my picture. So I'll go back to whence I came. So this is not a self-paced course. New content is made available every Thursday. So a new week in the class starts on Thursday. So everything starts all over again. You get new homework assignments, new attendance assignments every week. And like I said, it starts on a Thursday, and the weeks end the following Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. We're going to have weekly discussion boards for attendance, for one attendance assignment for the week, and then a second attendance assignment for the week. May vary, but it will be spelled out for you each week what that expectation is. The class is completely online except for unit tests and the final exam. Those need to be written. Those are the same tests that you would take as if you're in a seated class. and you need to take them in a proctored environment in our e-learning testing center. Or if you are more than 50 miles from Wake Tech, we need to make arrangements for an alternate proctor, and they need to be approved by me. There's more information on that in this Getting Started material. This is giving more details on the attendance. Quizzes will be in WebAssign, with the exception of a syllabus quiz, which is this week, just to make make sure that you understand where to find things in the class and how to navigate the class. This gives you the dates for the tests. This explains the smarter proctoring system, which is the way that you sign up for tests and that you reserve time to take the test at the testing center. And these test dates are already set, and make sure that you bring your Wake Tech student ID when you show up to take a test. This gives more information on discussion boards. The weekly discussion board that accounts for attendance will be graded, and the category average for discussion boards is 5% of your final grade. Here's the rubric for that, and this just gives you information how I want to see a substantive post, not, yeah, I'm here, or that was a nice post, Jane. I want to see a real question, how far you've gotten if you have a question on material, or you showing how to do a problem from the week, or asking questions about a problem from the week, not just how do you do number 5, but actually showing your work and where you got stuck. This just explains the WebAssign homework, and it's imperative to keep up. We will have labs in this class that are just basically assignments, Word documents that you download and print and do on paper. And that's important because the other means of taking assessments in this class are almost all through WebAssign, which is not the same thing. It's not the same format or feel as your tests that you're going to be taking in the e-learning testing center. So these labs are an important way for you to get that same type of experience. These aren't practice tests, but these are just another way for you to get that experience so you know what it will be like to do calculus on paper and pencil as if it were a test. This explains the grade distribution for the different categories in the class, the various locations where you can get help, and there'll be one group project in this class. I'll be assigning groups the third week of class, and I'll be doing it based on your responses in the introductory discussion board. Hopefully it'll be easier to identify who might be good group members. So the group project would be 5% of the grade. And please read this. Everybody hates group projects because, there's always that guy that doesn't do anything and the other guy or girl that does everything, and, so go ahead and read through this because I kind of spell out my system of how to go about doing a group project so that I can see who contributed what and see all the communication between students in the group to assign a fair grade. So once you read through that and you say, I really want to stay in this class, it looks great, go to the Lessons button and you'll just see week 1, and you'll see these big warnings about taking the course entry quiz and the FERPA quiz. And normally you'll see just a bulleted list of the contents in the weekly folder, since the course entry quiz is a one-time thing. So notice that the only thing that shows up is the course entry quiz and the FERPA release and academic honesty agreement. So that's because I have not taken the course entry quiz yet. So I'm just going to answer one question. Of course, you'll answer all of them and take it seriously. I'm just doing this for the sake of brevity. So now notice the other content showed up. So we'll be covering these two sections the first week. There's a Getting Started syllabus quiz, which quizzes you on the Getting Started material. And notice if you click into one of these folders, the first section we'll be covering is tangent velocity. And that has various resources in here. This is called a soft chalk lesson. This is a video made by me. This is the Desmos activity that the video is based on. There are a couple of videos there. Now notice that there's no way to access the WebAssign system. And that is because this FERPA quiz was not taken, or signature assignment was not signed. So please make sure that you sign these signature boxes. The FERPA agreement says that you give authorization for us to discuss grades via email, and that includes getting your graded tests back. And the academic honesty basically says you know what cheating is and you won't do it. So now notice when I go back to the folders that contain the lessons, there is a link to WebAssign. So if I click this link, this is what WebAssign looks like, though. This is my view. Let me show you the student view. And I'm making this course tour video before the course starts, so we're not able to see any assignments yet. If I close that student view and go back to the faculty view, I just wanted to show you we're going to have a homework assignment per section covered in the course. It will be due every, let me see, Wednesday night at 11:59. And even though it's due, homework is not graded, only quizzes are graded. There's a due date because I want you to keep up with the homework, since, as I said before, it builds on itself. And even though it's due, you can still access the homework after the due date, so it doesn't just go away. So that's basically the layout of the course. There are some other buttons that you need to explore, especially before you take that syllabus quiz. The student support button lists a whole bunch of stuff, which is good to know. And also there's a calendar. And there's a lot of white space down here in this calendar, notice. I hope that's because I'm in the student preview mode. I hope you'll be able to see this in a larger scale. But you can, I think you can get rid of this. Nope. Did get rid of it. Okay, so, but you can see, you know, by week what the topic we're doing is, when those labs are, when the quizzes are, how the attendance is counted for that week, and then just any other miscellaneous notes in this third column. And I hope that this looks better for you. And that's it for the course tour. I hope you have a great semester.